and all I did was just plug it into the port and turn the key to on. Now the minute I plugged it in, it came on. But anyway, I turned the key to on because the other ones that I've used, you have to have the key to on. So it looks like we've got a few different things. We've got diagnostics, DTC lookup, tool setup, and then of course it's got a help menu. Pretty good tactile buttons here. We'll go ahead and we'll hit diagnose. It'll process. What it's going to do is it's going to read the CAN bus and tell us if there's any problems. Now, I've just noticed that I replaced some sensors a while back, and I thought the engine light was still on, but it turns out it wasn't. So if you look in here, if you look at this, I don't know, try to get the glare off of it, but it's got DTCs and ECU, which is the codes. You can take and you can read codes. Okay, so it's going to get some supporting data, DTC loading. So hopefully it will tell us, okay, the vehicle has no fault codes. So basically, if there's any codes stored in memory, and a lot of times what happens, what throws a code is, let's say you have a spark plug fouling, let's say. It'll actually put the engine light on, which doesn't mean that, you know, your car is falling apart. It just means that, you know, you've got the engine light, there's a problem, and it threw a code. So with one of these, you can read that code. It'll tell you what the code is, as well as it'll give you a description of what the code is. And so it'll tell you that it found, and it'll tell you exactly which cylinder is misfiring and everything. They're actually really cool. So I'm going to back up here. You can erase codes. A lot of times, if let's say you get that code and you fix the spark plug, okay, and you no problems, you fixed the spark plug, and you found out that it was a broken wire or something, and so you replaced it, and it should be good. You'll notice that the still on the car will still show the check engine light. Well, this is where you go to erase codes, and you'll hit OK, and it'll say clear reset. Emission related diagnostic information. Are you sure? You'll hit OK. If not, you'll hit backwards, and it'll basically run you through all that. Now, it also has other things that you can do. It's got data stream, it's got freeze frame, O2 sensors. We all know that O2 sensors have problems. We can do an O2 sensor test. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's do bank 1, sensor 1. I'd have to look up in the book what the bank 1, sensor 1, and sensor 2, and then bank 2, sensor 1, sensor 2 are, where they're actually placed at for this specific vehicle. I'd have to look that up. But basically we can test them, you know, okay. And then it should, rich to lean sensor V. Okay, okie doke. Test ID 01, blah, 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 and down here under status it says pass. So it passed. So that means that the sensor is operational, it's working. So basically, if you have a problem where your car is having trouble like running right, it's not running real good, it's not really missing, but like, you know, if you stand behind it, your eyes are watering, you know what I'm talking about? You know, basically it's running so rich or so you know, fuel heavy and not enough. There's not enough. The O2 sensors is basically how the engine knows how much air to mix with the fuel when it puts it into the engine. And so if those sensors are bad, it could not be sensing enough oxygen in the exhaust when it comes out. And so it's thinking that it's needing to put more fuel in. So it'll run it really rich. It'll put lots and lots of fuel in, and which is causing your efficiency to go to crap, as well as it can cause wear and tear on your rings and things like that. And so this is a good way to check your O2 sensors if you suspect something like that's going on and it hasn't thrown a code yet, because a lot of times the engine will throw a code if the sensor is bad. But if it doesn't and you're wondering about it, you can use this cool little tool, here we go, to check this one. See, that one passed as well. So you can check your O2 sensors with it, which is actually quite nice. Let's see, what else do we have here? We've got onboard monitoring, evaporation system mode 8, so you can change up how your evap system works, and then you check your vehicle information. It'll actually pull out the VIN number, the CID, CVN. It'll pull out all that information just by reading the CAN bus. It's actually quite slick. So having one of these tools is very, very nice. Like I said, you can erase codes, you can check out O2 sensor test, just all kinds of stuff. Are you sure to exit the diagnostic function? Yeah, sure. So that's for diagnose. We've got the DTC lookup, which, oh, I can't remember what that is. Oh yeah, it's for the different codes that it pumps out. You can put in the code number that it pumps out and it'll look it up and tell you, I think, more information about it. So when you diagnose and you find the codes that it's throwing, then you can put it into that and it'll tell you what that code means and stuff like that. A lot of times I just Google the code. That's mainly what I do.